EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On one, ready?
They go play action with Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards right off the bat. And a quick first down.
Here we go, here we go.
On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Here we go, get in the huddle. 12.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Gun.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Burrow. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception, not interception. It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. Stop.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 1, ready?
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
11. Stop.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Now, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. This one hauled in by Sample. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
11.
First down. Here's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards, the final tally.
Here we go, here we go.
Now Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins hit and he fumbles. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Well, they go play action now. Burrow. He's got Mason complete. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he's able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
On 2nd and inches. Burrow. Touchdown Bengals. Ben Mason. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him.
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big mess. That's complete left side to Bateman. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Jackson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD. Charles, Bengals, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add out a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
21-0 our score after 1. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 4th down, here's Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Jackson on a give to Dobbins. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson, he's going to keep it himself. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson to throw. Open man is Duvernay. Touchdown! Devin Duvernay, 26 yards. And the Ravens are able to cut into that deficit. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive if they watch the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
Here we go.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 2nd and 12, Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Twelve. 11 MT. 11 MT. 11. 11.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Here we go.
So 3rd down. They need to get to the 28 for a first.
11.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there at the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Down to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
No, we changed it.
Jackson now. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles,
here we go.
We haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Now Burrow on first down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Mixing up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be third and forever. Now it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there's things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. A shotgun snap and again to Dobbins. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, they look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A pitch comes to Dobbins. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
11, Thomas.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 53 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they're able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
11. 12.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And while we may be looking at the
Here we go.
scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst, an 18-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he'll bring this one back to the... So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Well, they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. Mixon will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Travis Jones brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Allen got a man open. It's Chase.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, Huntley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
A gain of 3, second down. Ryan again on second down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go. 12.
They'll run again with Ryan. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're going to run this with a tight end. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a carry for Ryan. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Ryan again on 2nd down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Here we go.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And they take a knee.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. And they will take a knee here. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been stymied left and right, converted only one time. This is 3rd and 8. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Defensively, with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
Go! And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
Here we go, here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
Cougar 19. Ready.
They'll go again with Dobbins. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Let's go.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. And they'll indeed take a knee.
I'm one, ready? Stop!
And they take a knee.
I'm one, ready?
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Stop!
And they will take a knee here. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Bengals, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.